Joining me today is Jerry Frew, the Superintendent of Kearsarge Regional School District. So Jerry, we talked a little bit about the budget, and I'd like to talk a little bit more about the upcoming budget. So you're going to end the year hopefully with a surplus. You're starting the next year. What are the key issues in that budget?
Really, the key drivers in the next budget, John, were things like wages. The taxpayers back several years ago appropriated money to support a collective bargaining agreement, and that would have cost the district about $540,000 this year, but due to attrition and the hiring practices that we've followed over the past 3 years, that actual cost to the taxpayers will be about $176,000. So we're able to save over the course of the contract that type of money.
And that's really, again, because of just the school population.
Yes.
And I think a lot of schools in our region haven't grown.
Right. Most of the districts in the state are experiencing a decline in enrollment. Now, interestingly enough, for our district, our kindergarten class, since we've moved to the full-day kindergarten program, that now is the second largest class in our district. So it will be interesting to see if that trend continues. But we were quite surprised and almost challenged with space because of the increased enrollment in kindergarten.
It's twice. You need twice the space.
That shows some exciting potential moving forward for the district. Also, this budget reflects about a 2.5% wage increase for non-affiliated groups. It's important to note that folks like our administrators, our custodians, support staff are compensated in a performance-based model. That has helped to contain some of the budget, but also gives incentive for quality performance by folks.
So when you look at it, it's a 2.5% aggregate increase.
Yes.
Some people may get
more,
3%. Some people may get 2%.
Correct.
Based on the performance system.
Yep. Yes.
And that's true for the staff.
It's true for the teaching staff as well.
And the faculty.
Yes.
And so that contract that has a performance-based component to it, that, as I recall from an earlier interview, it's one of the first in the state that would actually incorporate that.
Yes, and that contract expires in 2016. So negotiations with the Kearsarge Regional Education Association and the board will begin probably in the fall, moving toward that new collective bargaining agreement.
And was that a 2 or 3 year contract?
We will be completing a 3-year contract. We just entered into a 2-year contract with the paraeducators at Kearsarge that will expire at the end of 2007.
So let's keep on the budget, but I want to at some point circle back and talk about that contract.
Sure.
How it's going.
Sure.
So your labor costs are going up a little bit.
Yeah. Also want to talk about the health benefit. The health benefit costs, we projected about a 5% increase in health benefit costs. I think the other part too that impacts the budget in a negative way are the retirement costs, the teacher retirement costs. And it's important for folks to understand that those who are enrolled in the retirement system are not necessarily benefiting. They've not gotten a cost of living adjustment for several years. This is the increased retirement cost is the solution to over 20 years of the system underfunding itself, if you will.
Okay, so is that Kearsarge's fault for not funding?
No, it certainly isn't. But like all districts and municipalities in the state, it's a byproduct of a couple of things, really. It's a byproduct of the retirement system making some decisions along the way with municipalities and towns. It's also reflective of the state who used to make a contribution to the retirement system, and over the past several years that amount of contribution has reduced to nothing. It was in the vicinity of 35 or 40%, and now it's nothing. So that obligation has to be picked up somewhere along the line, and that has fallen on the backs of the employees and the employers. So
I want to focus in on that, and we've got about 30 seconds left, but I just want to get the facts sort of straight, and we'll come back to the next segment. Really what you're saying is all of the teachers and maybe some of the staff, their retirement system is handled by the state of New Hampshire.
It is.
Not by the voters of Kearsarge or that.
Right.
So it's really a state issue.
Right.
Okay, we're out of time.
Every district in the state.
Every district in the state. We're out of time.